The night was dark. The moon hid behind the clouds. Rahul rode his motorcycle down the narrow village road. The wind howled through the trees.
Shivering. The air is so cold.
Rahul quickened his pace. He just wanted to get home. The road was deserted. He saw shadows dancing in the moonlight. Each one seemed to watch him.
Humming a tune to himself. I need to ignore these shadows.
It did little to calm his nerves. He was glad when he saw the lights of the village ahead. Rahul sighed with relief. Almost home. He patted his motorcycle, his faithful companion. Suddenly the engine sputtered. It coughed. Then it died.
Frustrated. No.
Rahul muttered. He hit the ignition. Nothing. He was out of petrol.
Groaning. Why now?
Rahul looked around. He was still far from the village. The houses were just pinpoints of light in the distance. He sighed. He had no choice but to walk. Rahul pushed his motorcycle along the side of the road. The silence was unnerving. Only the sound of his own footsteps broke the quiet. He thought he saw something move in the shadows, a flicker of red. He stopped. He held his breath. He listened.
Whispering to himself, was it just my imagination?
The wind rustled the leaves in the trees. He couldn't be sure. He started walking again. He quickened his pace. As Rahul walked, he saw it again. The flash of red. It was near a large peepal tree. This time he stopped. He stared. He couldn't believe his eyes. There was a woman. She stood under the tree. She wore a long red veil that covered her entire body. Her back was to him. She didn't move.
Nervously. Who would be out here at this time of night?
Rahul felt a shiver run down his spine. He hesitated. Should he speak to her? He took a step closer.
Hello?
Rahul called out. His voice sounded small in the vast emptiness. The woman didn't turn. She didn't move. Rahul took another step. He felt a cold wind blow past him. Oh. He heard a whisper. It seemed to come from the tree. Or was it the woman? Rahul couldn't make out the words. He felt uneasy. A strange feeling crept over him. He decided to leave. He turned and started to walk away.
Breathing heavily.
Rahul walked quickly. He didn't look back. He could feel eyes on his back. He could hear the whisper of his name in the wind. Finally, he reached the village. He saw the familiar lights of his home. He felt a surge of relief. He was safe. He pushed open the door and stepped inside. His grandmother sat by the fire. She looked up as he entered. Her eyes widened.
Rahul, where have you been?
His grandmother asked. Her voice was filled with concern. She looked at him closely.
You look pale.
Rahul sat down beside her. He told her about the woman in the red veil. He told her about the whispers in the wind. His grandmother listened intently. When he was finished, she sighed. She shook her head.
Rahul, you should never speak to strangers on that road.
What do you mean? Who is she?
Rahul looked at his grandmother. His grandmother sighed again.
There are stories, legends. They say that a woman in a red veil haunts that road.
They say she met an untimely end. Now her restless spirit searches for someone to help her. But those who help her, they meet a terrible fate. Rahul listened to his grandmother's tale. He felt a chill run down his spine. Was the woman in the red veil real, or was it just his imagination? He looked at the window. The wind howled outside. He thought he saw a flicker of red in the darkness. Rahul shut the window quickly. He turned back to his grandmother. He had so many questions, but he knew that some mysteries are best left unsolved.